Hello and welcome to how to create a wobble bass, I guess you would call it. This is Fruity Loops Studio, as you can see, and this is massive favorite. No doubt you can do like everything here. Alright, so you want to do the wobble bass thing, and I have a way of creating that, but we have over here sort of a, I don't know, loop, if you want to call it that. Anyway, yeah, that's the loop. All right. So, what you want to do first is new sound, and we're gonna drag this up because we need the oscillator 2 and we need the oscillator 1, and this should be around here. Okay, so filter first, scream, that's what I go for, and this about here, something like that, and no need for filter 2. We're gonna play around with this later. We need the EQ, we can go actually, so around there. The most important thing that you need to do is play around with number 5 over here, LFO, and you're gonna click sync, and that's gonna define how fast your wobble is gonna go. So higher numbers equals, you know, faster wobble, and I think you should be able to hear it if we drag it over here, and then click this and drag down, all the way down. I feel a sneeze coming on, so try to work it away. Right, so the first oscillator you're gonna pitch down to 24, so and I normally go with electric, and on the second one I go for format saw, I think it is F saw, yeah. Or F square. No, F saw is the one, right. And then pitch this up to 24. You're gonna get a weird sound if you don't have the same pitch. They need to be on the same number, basically. I think it's I don't know. It's, yeah, just trust me. Alright, so you should be able to hear a wobble in it. Right, that's too fast. What I need here in this one, I need 8. So that's a ish good place to be, I think. But you hear it's a bit off, and it's this one you have to change. So first, drag X fade curve all the way up, and that should make it sound a little bit different. Okay, but you need to start. It sort of has to start like about here. See, this is the start and this is the end, so it would start right in the sound instead of before the wave, if you know. So around here, and that would make it sound a bit better. What I want now is a bit more depth, so that's where the EQ comes in. So if we don't have that, I need a bit more pitch on it, a bit higher in the higher frequencies, and that's high shelf. Over here you change that according to where you want it. So we click that. Don't mind the bad drum thing in the background, it's just to make it sound a bit better. I normally go for dimension expander, and then play around with it a bit. I use dry and then not that big of a size. So you can hear the difference if we turn it off. It's sort of more, if you want to look at the spectrum, the whole spectrum here. Let's say we're in a half circle, and this, if you use without the dimension expander, which is, I guess, to expand the sound space, you you hear it sort of in front of you in the center, which I don't like that. It's too tight. That maybe you can use it if you're like using other wobble basses with it. It's up to you, but I prefer using a bit of the dimension expander, a lot of dry and not that big of a size. And if I changed this, as you heard, it went sort of off beat. And that's because it has to travel from here to here. And this is the important area, below this line here. So I changed it. I usually have it around here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you can play around with 3 oscillators or 1 oscillator. Some use 1, and that sounds like this. And then you have, you know, a lot of choices here, so maybe you want to go with Polysaw 2. But then if you add something that's higher pitch as a second oscillator, you have that higher second sound that you get, and that sort of fills in the whole sound, because this is pretty low, so it evens each other out, but you get the low and the high, which I really like. So you have the electric, which is down pitched, and then we have the format saw, which is pitched upwards. That's all it's adding, like that's it. But together, you know, they complement each other, I think, at least. And then you can play around with that and use drive, and that would make it sound like this. But you can play around with it and maybe use pitch it lower, pitch it higher, you know, it's all up to your preference. But this is how I do it. There are a lot of different ways how to do stuff, you know. And if you change the ratio here, let's set it to 3 and then 16. I'm not sure if you can change that now. So basically what to do is maybe create 2 or 3 patterns here, or, you know, tracks, whatever you want to call it. And then just change the ratio according to what you want it to sound like. And that's pretty much it. It's very easy to create this. But then you need to find your like specific sound. That's the big part of it all. To create your special like dubstep sound, and this is one particular sound that you can have. And then of course, you know, you can add stuff. For example, I add a reverb here, so if I remove that, and if I add it, you know, stuff like that changes it. I used to have the EQ, but it didn't. It sounds good as it is. So you can replace it with other things like bass boost or pitch or whatever you want to do with it, you know. But I normally just put a reverb, and that's, you know, that's good. That makes it sound perfect, if you ask me at least. And then, of course, when you go below C4 here, it goes very pitchy because, as earlier I said, you pitch down one of them and pitch up the other. So the other is gonna overtake the first one. So this is higher, so you're gonna hear more of that because it's so low, the other one. And then if you go even lower to C3, so it all sounds pretty weird, but you change that. You can have them at 0, both of them, and it would sound, let's see what it sounds like. So we pitch them to 0 and 0, and that sounds like this. But that means we pitch this down to 12, and let's see what that sounds like. So for these two particular ones, I think it sounds best at to pitch down number 1, oscillator number 1 to 24, and pitch up oscillator 2 to 24. And I think that sounds the best, at least around this area, and you can play around with. So if you go higher, it sounds weird. This is the area between 6 and 4 here. That's the area you want to work with. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want me to do more stuff, because I have a little bit more up my sleeve here, so if you want to see that, please, give it a like, comment below what you want to hear, and I'll try and create that for you. Right now I'm working on how to get a lot of bass, so I'm gonna show you that actually just before you leave this video. Let's see, working on it. Yeah, let's take that one. And I'm not gonna play you the whole thing, I played around with gross beats, and I did my own deep kick here. If you want it, I can send it to you, so I'm just gonna show you what it sounds like. It's very, very deep, so take a listen. And we're gonna see here, over here, we're gonna start it. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on now. I'm trying to learn trap, which is, yeah, I think it's really cool, like, genre, and I like the deep bass. I think it's awesome. So yeah, I'm working on some squeaks too, so you're gonna hear that. No bass. This has no bass according to my friend, so you're gonna hear it too. Alright, thanks for watching, and as I said before, if you want some type of, for example this one, I made a squeak for it, or whatever you want to, I call it a squeak because it's squeaking, come on. Yeah, anyway, you want to see some other stuff, just, comment down below and like, or whatever you want to do, and I'll try and make it for you. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.